Says I'm live. There I go. Right. Let's see if anyone who encouraged me to do this will be here tonight. It is 10 o'clock on a Sunday. A little bit later than I would have wanted, but at the same time, moderation. Um, at the same time, tomorrow is a holiday. It does say there's a viewer. Hello, viewer. Um, I have actually no idea what the description of the stream says. I hope it's the same as the last one. Yes, it does look like that. It is the same. Um, oh, somebody popped in and left. I'm trying out several live streaming platforms in order to have some sense of community, maybe build something for my people. I definitely know some of my friends from the Tarot Oracle live stream would love to see put down some cards from time to time. They are going to be bouncing back and forth. Let me see if I can get that to zoom in. It may not let me. May flip upside down. Figure video. All right. I do want to put down some cards for somebody that should be in a better position. Um, yeah, the first live stream I did was actually through my personal Facebook page. I was there for about 20 minutes. Nobody showed up, and that happened. I am kind of the sad goth of my friend group, and most of my friend group is leaving that site anyway. Wound up doing like a 2.5 hour stream to follow it up over on Instagram. I wish Instagram would let me do this kind of widescreen where I could lay cards down. I have to hold them up or something if I were to read for. Um, and the other issue being that Instagram isn't very keen on letting me live stream yet. So now I'm trying YouTube. See what happens. Um, this is my most used deck. I've had this since a few months after I started. 20 at the time I was writing horror fiction based off tarot reading. Hello, newcomer. Please say hi if you'd like to. Um, who's here? Right. And but it's been a 13-year journey now. A little after 13 years and a couple of weeks. Memories on social media. I have been learning a lot in the last 13 years. The stream's current bit rate. Well, I'm doing what I can, YouTube. This deck is one that I've called subversive because you can read it as though it was an intuitive Rider-Waite-Smith clone, or you can really read it with some of the nerdier, richer, because they actually are sort of hidden in sight on these cards. So, just for fun, draw one card to think about if this is even a good idea. And if you know why, I'm going to put a pair of clarifiers sorts around it to sort of get the mood of the card. Is this a good idea? The Prince of Knives, the airy part of air. Card described as thinking about thinking. Not a very smart thing to do, no matter how smart you think it is. But the truth of it is I'm not thinking about thinking, talking a lot, but I'm actually doing something. Let's see what our clarifying card. Ooh, the fiery part of Earth. Justice, Libra, another air sign. Our airy part of air here is more connected with Aquarius. And yes, this deck does want you to read this way. Things about things. This isn't really in the worst company. Got some good company over here and probably some neutralish over here. Oh, is this a good idea? Or should I have thought it through more? In the last week when I did a couple of these, the whole idea was to work on some music, see if some friends showed up, say hi if they did, and it wound up being a really, really. Maybe what I'll have to do is schedule it. For doing these darker hours, so I can set my mood lighting, and I'll have to work on that mood lighting. I think I'm just going to give this about 20 minutes, all said and done. According to this, I'm about 8 minutes. Average view duration is 7 minutes and 34 seconds. Or is that 7.3? This particular deck has been with me almost 13 years. Still the original Llewellyn Low Scarabeo deck. Still in pretty good shape considering I will riffle shuffle it on more than pretty regularly. The 2010 Low Scarabeo decks are not the fancy card stock we love these days, but they held up. I've got this. I've got a Dark Grimoire, the Universal Fantasy, and all of these from around 2010 to 2012. I've read some grumbling that maybe the stock isn't what it used to be, but we'll mistreat these. And I do have a backup, one of the few decks. Llewellyn had their sale. Surprised that I didn't get any number cards. Let me just grab the first one I see, which is the Four of Grail. And I'm going to disappear off this while I come here at this card. I have here is I should probably know this off the top of my head. Oh, I have my chart. person does look, these symbols are on the. I took my glasses off so I could look. Right? Yes, that is the moon in the astrological sign. Talk to me here. We'll let that go. I'm just running my mouth right now. What this deck did really well is hide those symbols in plain sight. So you can look at this art and you can read it intuitively, but you can get a big pile of books, learn the really archaic ways, and learn to read this deck with a lot of nerdery and egghead of techniques. I may actually leave this video up a little bit just how I sound. It looks like I'm 11 minutes in. Change. Oh, I do have a like. Um, Hi, I know you. Oops, I pushed the wrong button. Welcome to live chat. Oh, yeah, I pushed on the welcome to live chat that I was telling you. How are you? Let me see if I can. Community, uh, moderators. Maybe I'll have to work that out later. Oh, you're on the phone. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a false start. It only ran about 4 minutes. YouTube had asked me if I sure had my audio settings right, so I went to check on them and restarted the stream. How am I doing? It's been a journey the last 3 months. I've had a couple of adventures, and I've had some ups and downs, a few more downs than I'm used to, but you get through them, you know. How are you? Or yeah, you said I asked, and you said good. And I'm not used to live streaming. What I've been doing is streaming on and off, looking to see if anybody wants anything to do with the cards, wants anything. I'm really excited about having like this sort of creative community of any sort that I can build. So I figure I'll just throw myself out there and see how people react. And that's what I'm up to right now. Um, I put a poll up on Instagram. Am I doing readings? I can. I may do a practice thing. I don't want donations or anything if I do, but I am up to trying it. I probably shouldn't be doing that in a sleeveless shirt. But yes, I am up to trying a practice readings. What I would do is read for someone else the way I read for myself, which is to look inward, be very introspective, be very meditative. Um, and again, this deck is almost subversively built for people like me. If you know, I'll try to find a really good card that does it. Yeah, this deck is full of almost old school astrological symbols. Like here's the lover, which would correspond with Gemini, and I'm going to do this, and I'm not even sure it's working, but you would see the tattoo of Gemini on her arm. You're happy to be my guinea pig. Well, if you have a question, I may rephrase it so that it's looking in instead of out, because I don't think I'd be very good at reading for a third party's energy, but I certainly, my point of view is to ask what is my best mindset or set of decisions going forward. I've done sort of readings like I do for myself. If I unboxed a deck, yes, this is a 13-year-old Los Scarabeo deck. I will riffle shuffle it. I don't do the waterfall. And that probably saves it a lot of stress, but I mean, it looks this good after 13. Message from higher self. Yeah, that's, again, something you could think about. I'm going to switch windows so I can see more or less if I'm laying these out. You're on screen. It does look like I should push them a little bit here. Okay, let's just a standard 5-card spread. Something to think about right now would be the Eight of Cups, which is, of course, grief. Maybe things not being as good as we'd like, but also maybe us not seeing what is better. Interesting. I want to read this in a full nerdy way, so I'm going to flip these over first and kind of get a general vibe of the whole thing, and then juggling windows here. A possible next step is the Emperor. That's at Aries energy. A little bit of Mars, a little bit of stop grieving, be the leader of your own world. Oh wow, the Five of Scepters, which I'm trying to, I believe was Mars and Leo off the top of my head, as again, conflict as a obstacle, something that might be in your way. Um, Six of Grails, Six of Cups as an asset, which in this Rider-Waite-Smith system would be associated with having good memories, this positive forms of nostalgia overall, and the world, the universe, um, Saturn, and our earthly realm. That, yeah, that is that's a positive note to end on. So let's take a look here, because what I'm seeing is water and water, fire and fire, then earth. There's almost this mix of water and fire, which to me would say, again, as far as conflict, as far as grief, as far as finding leadership in yourself, as far as finding your memories, I would say, oh yeah, scepters are wands. It's fire. Sorry about that. It's this has been one of my main decks for 13 years. I'm so used to just um, seeing it a certain way. So, I wonder, that'll be fine. So, a general gist, not just a general influence here, is I do see these first sparks of incredibly strong feelings. I do see these feelings being given form. Happiness here, sadness here. You know, at your best, you are your own best leader, and at your worst, things get a little bit conflicted. I believe this is also Mars in Leo, again with a second helping of Mars. Hello, Night Daughter. Um, the general feeling I would get from this is, yeah, to have, there's a lot less action here. There's action at the end. This is very definitely this Saturn with the element of Earth here. very, very definite action at the end, but that action comes after these feelings and these inspirations are put kind of in order. If that makes sense. Like, if there are some feelings you're struggling with, if there are some feelings that, you know, you you've got a great idea what to do, maybe some conflicted feelings about it, stop, you know, gratitude practice, and you know how to be the leader here. You know how to take charge. And once those feelings and once those initial bursts of feelings are there, then it's time to act. So catch your breath, take a deep breath, and or if you're feeling that conflict, take a deep breath and then act. If that makes sense. This just seems like such hokey advice. This is the third time I've read for somebody online. But yeah, it's definitely what I'm getting is this is all feelings until we get to until until it's not until it's time to just grab life. Um, and please, if there's, I got nervous and I started rambling. I'm glad that that does. Thank you. As I was going to ask if you had some feedback, criticism, anything. Uh, Please let me know here. Find me in private, and I'll be glad to take some. Um, oh no, that's uh, no. As I've said, I've also the more I've learned about reading, the more I've found this deck to be delightfully subversive. That I've said is, I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's Leo, signs here on this pillar. I'm not going to hold this up. Oh, it's Saturn in Leo. I was a little bit wrong there. So there's that hint of Earth, kind of. Um, I'm going to stop. I will actually sit and stare at this 5-card spread for a half hour. But yes, thank you. And well, Night Daughter, if you'd like, I can try to put something together for you. Again, this would be more asking um, what is a good set of actions to do with a situation. I'm less about reading someone else's energy. I think if I could do that, I would have a lot more of my own life figured out. But very definitely for me a way to stop, think about what's going on, and okay, and I'll do something for you because you see how badly I just knocked my cable out of it. Looks like let's go with this. We'll put one down for Maruta as well. Our Dark Light Oracle. Got that for my. I tend to keep the oracles in their boxes. They come in nicer boxes, but anything in a tuck box is. Let's start with one more of these for Maruta, which is Dangerous Passion. Again, that goes with that fire and feelings. Um, Red as a Bleeding Heart. I'm not probably going to get into the book, but we need passion. We need that drive to get things done. That kind of confirms to me. All right, let's I only have one screen, so I'm going to switch back and forth between tabs. Uh, the Dark Light, I didn't think I'd like it that much. I figured it might be hokey, but that one and the Sacred Forest for different reasons. But since I have my vampire deck out and my goth setup and my nice ring with bat wings, here let's make a goth theme of tonight. Hey, something general for night daughter there. A assessment of the current situation, asset, obstacle, an assessment of the current situation, a possible next step, an obstacle, asset, and move these over just a bit over here. All right, flip these over first and just get a feeling for what we're looking at, which is already interesting. If I look at this, it's earth and water, earth, fire and water, fire, air. First thing I'm going to do is keep going until I've got something with an element, which is now earth of earth. Okay, I'm seeing a little more action here. Let me see if I can find, that was effectively the page of pentacles. It's skulls in here because it's all goth and fun and whatever, but yeah, and as an outcome, you know, my notes in my personal journal, they say this about the Ten of Swords. The good news is it can't get any worse. So let's take a look at this because air's kind of weak in this. What I'm seeing is a lot more earth. Again, especially when I pulled that page of Pentacles. That was the earthy part of earth. It's so the current situation is looking like, you know, a lot of feelings about actions, obviously. Some newness. One thing about that though, the pages, the daughters, the princess, and the Thoth deck. Look at a Rider Waite Smith or the Crowley's Thoth. It's usually the only court card standing up because that's the card that's getting stuff done. I don't necessarily believe there's an order of okay. Uh, there's an order of things, but they all are important. And this is the one who's standing up and getting done in your typical deck. So that tends to be kind of hopeful. The next thing to do is here. That's the oh wow, yeah. Even the tens. This is time to act. Um, and this is time to be like present right here and now where you are. Um, you know, that's the ten of earth. That's what Tio calls one of the happy home, happy family, and any other deck. You've got the kids playing and the dogs and the parents and the town elder, and they're all just there. Um, as I recall, if I'm bringing up the mental image of the correct card, this one, of course, is being a bit. Now, here's a Queen of Wands as an obstacle, and that's getting that you've got this big idea, and you've got the having the big idea and having these feelings about the big idea. You know, it's not. At no point is there the actual plan yet, and it's not acting. But not acting here is the obstacle. This is feeling about it as the obstacle. An asset here is the sun, and this is the natural. It's from the first day of spring to the first day of autumn. The sun is causing growth. It's bringing growth. It brings the crops from seed to plant to harvested crop or nearly ready to harvest. And yes, it does wane a bit in the autumn and winter. Too much sun will scorch the crops, but not enough. The crops won't grow. But there's still that warming, life-giving essence here as an asset within you. And I just slapped my microphone. That project that that project that you talked about, that is a little bit on my mind here. And that's where the Ten of Knives is kind of on my mind. Because even this is a transition. This is a transition from thinking about the situation to having your feet on the ground. This is the last card in the suit of air, normally swords, before you get to either the Ace of Pentacles or the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, while this is a setback, let's think about this as a current energy thing too. Because there is just such an impressive message about being here in the here and now while the sun's while the sun's out. Being willing to start, taking that next action is really the overall impression I've gotten from all of this. No, I wouldn't say to abandon it. This is the worst in the greater story of these cards. This is where you stop thinking about things too much. Yes, there's very definite, very definite negative mood here. Okay, but this is also when you realize that you have all of the plans that you have, and maybe there is a setback. But even if you were to read it in the order the suits normally go, which is the wands first, do we actually have them all present? The wands first, then the cups, then the swords, then the pentacles. There's still this whole adventure here in the pentacles to get through. So this might hurt, this might suck, but it's a setback. Again, your typical Rider-Waite-Smith deck, you see the person with the swords in them, but you see the sun rising. Right, this is just a setback, no matter how much it hurts. That's all it is a setback. The tech bros, was they say, fail forward and fail often. Might be a little bit of that, but should anything happen, it's a setback. You have a whole new part of the adventure waiting, even if there's a setback. So, in regards to what you were saying, what I would say is, yeah, all four elements, and the sun as. But yeah, when I look though, is we had Earth here in the in this. There just wound up being a huge influence of Earth, which is why I'm thinking it might. Go ahead, dip your toes into doing, probably. Let's draw this just a full moon, a nice balance to the sun. Dark lighted magic in the air. I might sneak my glasses on too. Card number 30, the moon. I don't normally throw the oracle card on. I will if I'm stressed out. I'd just like a happier message to end on. Full moon, dark lighted magic in the air. Gathered to celebrate the beauty of the night, the glory of the moon, the power of feminine intuition. You are invited to join the rite if your life seems to lack a little magic. It is time for you to reconnect with your untamed self. Deep down inside, you have the soul of a witch, or maybe the soul of a vampire whose real thirst is for beauty, and you have to put aside reason and logic for a while and let your intuition guide you. But most of all, celebrate what you truly believe and incorporate more of it into your current life. Interesting. I'm trying to incorporate that into the rest of the reading. because that is definitely some of this energy here. And it's definitely a balance. I don't want to say a counterpoint, but almost a completion of the sun by balancing it. Now, in the 5-card spread I did, the struggle, of course, was adding that fire and that water together. But in a balanced way. You are welcome. Again, I will sit and I will turn this reading into a half-hour event. Oh, so if you do see opportunities to do something, especially as the work week begins on Tuesday, let me take my glasses off. I feel like too much of a nerd with those on. If you do feel like you have a chance to start acting, even if it's just your small step forward. Yeah, for Paula, what I was thinking of doing, and I did this, I think, when I did my 4-minute practice run. For Paula, because I know that what she wants is a 1-card draw, I'm going to do something. I'll ask myself a question. It does look like there might be a third person in chat, so please say hello if you want. I'm just going to take a look and see participants. Well, there was a third person, or it might be me. So what is something I could think about if I do the other chat? And what I would do, my thought is to have that card, and again, as you saw, I was looking at the elements for clarifiers. So my main card here would be the 3 of Scepters, and that is very much being your own best leader, kind of like what I told her about the Aries card. In fact, this is the sun in Aries, if I'm remembering correctly. I've got some fire here. Here I've got the airy part of water. Here I've got the fiery part of earth. These are kind of neutral to this. Wow. So this is what I was thinking of doing. It's just 3 cards, where this is our main one. And these aren't really doing a whole lot to strengthen or deny this. They're kind of neutralizing each other. I would say that this is not super impressive, or not super exceptional. Just kind of like a day-to-day life sort of thing. In this case, take it slow. Let that initial fire have its moment. And again, that might be time to try something. And I won't know what it's like until I begin to explore it first. And yeah, I think this is what I'll try to do for Paul. I do need to talk to her. No, I'm not trying to put myself down. Sorry about that if it came that way. This is just what I'm thinking is there's this one main card and there are these 2 clarifiers on either direction of it, just to sort of get the strength of the card. And thank you. Okay, a little bit of silliness in another window. Thank you. That 5 card is how I read for myself, except I made myself stop talking. And I can definitely see doing something more of the 3 card setup for Paula. And maybe even something like this where I'm either all hands or I'll have my face here in the corner. Although I know that would be my face in the corner of, whoops. I probably should, nope, what I want. Ah, we're all talking. Yeah, it is. I just feel, it's actually what you practice for. Here, I know I want to be concise. I know I want to be able to tell myself when it's time to stop talking, uh, not because I'm bad at it, but because I just said the same thing 3 times. So look for when I've said it once, catch myself the second time, and just sit in that silence for a minute. Be okay with it. Um, yeah, how, well, if you want to catch up, I may actually close this, but if you want to catch up outside of here for a minute before it gets to be too late, I'd be glad to chat for a little bit. How long did I go? I said I was going to shut down at 20 minutes if nobody came by, and I've managed 41 and a half. All right, then I'm going to end the stream for a little bit. And yes, have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful third day of the 3-day weekend if you have one. And I will speak to everybody soon. Maybe I'll try this again soon. Goodbye for now.